We've got some great tips on some padding materials to use for padding up your transtibial socket. Hi, I'm Jeff, CPO at Ottobock, and this is O&P Workshop Insights. To begin with, we'll talk about the transtibial socket. You can see on this plaster model that I've made some drawings. These include trouble spots such as the fibula head, the crest of the tibia, the anterior distal tibia, and so on and so forth. But what we're going to focus on today is just the spots that are colored in yellow. Now, if I have a patient who is needing to reduce their sock ply or increase the pressure around their limb, then what I will do is work in the pre-tibial and gastroc areas. Note the shapes of these pads. They're all along the muscle bellies of these muscles here, and they don't intrude along bony areas. Starting with the pre-tibial areas, you can see that along the crest of the tibia on both sides, I have these places marked. The lateral side is a little bit shorter than the medial side because we have clearance for the fibula head. Also, I have colored in red where the apex of these pads will be. Moving to the posterior aspect, we have the gastroc pad. You can see it doesn't go all the way up to my trim line, and that's intentional because I don't want to put excessive pressure in the popliteal area. But what we can do is put pressure into the gastrocnemius. I also don't protrude below towards the bottom of the socket because I don't want to push the limb up. I just want to push around and support the bony structure of the limb. You can see it's a trapezoidal shape with nice rounded edges, and you can see the zone of our apex is quite large here. Moving to our check socket, it's not enough for this patient, so we're going to increase that even more with these pads. Using a marker, let's mark those. I'm going to start with referencing the fibula head. You can also do this on the patient using a corset stay. Now our pads are going to be positioned in this area here, and then same on this side, and a little bit shorter here. We'll move over to the posterior aspect and we'll keep it about the same height, about 3 centimeters below the posterior trim line. Nice straight edge, here, here, and then we'll connect them around. This is a nice rough shape, but let's transfer that to our pads. This is a 4mm Pe-Lite. You always want to round off these edges to prevent them from peeling up. Test the fitment around the edges. Okay, there are the 3 pads. We'll do the final finishing of these pads in the grinding room. But for now, I want to also show you another way to make pads. I like to use the loop side of Velcro with adhesive-backed. It's not very thick, but it's just thick enough to reduce a few sock ply. And this is something that you can keep on hand if you're working mobile. What's great about the Velcro is that there's no grinding needed. It already has the adhesive on it, and the edges fall nice and flat inside the socket. For this second one, I'll overlap them and just continue to angle down. For the top part of the posterior pad, I'll peel back the bottom a little and adhere it to the top of the bottom section. This is a good way to keep these nice and together. Now simply peel off the backing and it can be applied. Start from the middle and work your way to the edge so that you don't trap any air. We can do the same for the front pads. And there you have it. If the Velcro isn't thick enough, you can use the thicker Pe-Lite. Let's take it to the grinding room and I'll show you some great beveling techniques. Now we're in the grinding room and it's time to bevel these edges. It's about a 3-step process. First, with a rough sanding cone, we're gonna buff down the edge of this to make the perimeter nice and smooth. I'll start with the sides and then I'll get the rounded edges. Next step, we're going to bevel this on a 45-degree angle. Nice, long, sweeping motion. Now that this is nice and ground all the way to the edge, now we're gonna go at a much steeper angle, about 10 millimeters in from the edge. And see that I'm supporting the back of the pad with this other hand. The 4th step is to do the final bevel, and I do it in kind of a licking motion, and then we'll finish it off on a lighter grit paper. This pad is now complete. So we have a nice graded bevel all the way around. It's a very sharp looking pad. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and be sure to check us out. Find other videos of tips and tricks at Ottobock Professionals.